Two big updates on the recent Marks & Spencer hack. A Brazilian bank breach is an inside job, and McDonald's HR data was made vulnerable not by artificial intelligence, but by a singular lack of developer intelligence. This is Cybersecurity Today. I'm your host, Jim Love. Two big updates on the Marks & Spencer story. Marks & Spencer have provided some additional facts in testimony before a parliamentary investigation, which sheds some light on the attack that took out the retail giant in the UK and spread from the UK to North America as well. Secondly, it appears that police have made some arrests. The BBC is reporting that 4 people have been arrested by police in the National Crime Agency investigation of the attacks on Marks & Spencer's and the other retailer Co-op in the UK. A 20-year-old woman and 3 males aged 17 and 19 were detained in the London and West Midlands areas in the UK. The 19-year-old is from Latvia, and the 17-year-old and the woman arrested are both from the UK. The police arrested them at their homes in quiet suburban areas and seized their equipment as well. Paul Foster, head of the NCA, said it was a significant step in the investigation, but they are continuing to work with partners in the UK and overseas, indicating there may be more to come. And that would be very good news indeed. Marks & Spencer and Co-op were just the start of a wave of similar attacks that have spread from the UK into North America. And meanwhile, Marks & Spencer released more information about how the cyber criminals infiltrated their network back in April. And their carefully worded testimony suggests they may have quietly paid the ransom. Marks & Spencer Chairman Archie Norman revealed to Parliament this week that the breach began with social engineering, which he described as sophisticated impersonation. Threat actors posed as one of the company's employees to trick a third-party help desk into resetting a password. That third party was reportedly IT outsourcing giant Tata Consulting Services, which handles Marks & Spencer's technical support. Norman went out of his way to say this wasn't just a simple phishing email. It was a sophisticated attack. He said, "They appeared as somebody with their details, and the attackers had done their homework on Marks & Spencer's internal systems and personnel." The attack was initially attributed to the Dragon Force ransomware operation, believed to be operating from Asia, ultimately forcing Marks & Spencer to shut down all their systems. Sources told Bleeping Computer that approximately 150 gigabytes of data was stolen and numerous VMware ESXi servers were encrypted. Dragon Force typically employs these double extortion tactics, stealing data and threatening to publish it unless ransoms are paid. But months later, Dragon Force has not made an entry on their data leak site for Marks & Spencer, which seems to indicate that Marks & Spencer paid the ransom. But on that point, Norman was a little evasive. When Parliament pressed him about ransom payments, his response was revealing. He said that Marks & Spencer took a hands-off approach, leaving negotiation to professionals who have experience in the matter, likely referring to specialized ransomware negotiation firms. When directly asked if they paid, Norman again deflected, saying they weren't discussing details publicly, but they had shared everything with authorities. We'll have more on this story on our weekend edition, where our panel will feature an expert on ransomware groups and some insights into the worldwide network called Scattered Spider that may be a part of this attack as well. Brazil's financial sector is still reeling from a devastating cyber attack that demonstrates how a single employee can trigger a massive security breach and, in this case, lead to the theft of over $140 million from the country's central banking system. C&M Software, which provides the critical bridge services connecting Brazil's central bank to local financial institutions, revealed on June 30th that hackers had stolen 800 Brazilian reals, approximately $140 million, from the reserve accounts of 6 financial institutions. The attack was so severe that Brazil's central bank immediately suspended access to the C&M software platform for all local banks while investigating the breach. But the real shock came when police arrested the person who made it possible. A 48-year-old IT worker who worked on back-end systems at C&M Software allegedly sold login credentials to hackers for approximately $2,700, granting them unauthorized access to the critical financial systems. The payout was a tiny fraction of what the criminals ultimately stole. And according to police, Rock's story reads like a low-budget thriller. He claims cyber criminals first approached him in March as he was leaving a Sao Paulo bar, and then later receiving instructions via WhatsApp and payments through motorcycle couriers. He reportedly changed his mobile phone every 15 days in a futile attempt to avoid being tracked. We say futile because police identified him and arrested him. Now, the good news, the stolen money came from reserve accounts used by financial institutions to exchange funds between themselves rather than customer accounts, meaning the public isn't directly impacted. Brazilian authorities have since frozen $50 million linked to the incident. But the case highlights a critical vulnerability in financial infrastructure, the insider threat. No matter how sophisticated your external security, a single employee with access to sensitive systems can potentially compromise everything. For financial institutions worldwide, this incident underscores the need for stronger internal controls and monitoring of privileged access. McDonald's, the fast food giant's embrace of AI screening, has backfired spectacularly, with hackers accessing years of job applicant data through security flaws so basic they're almost embarrassing. We'll be clear on this story, the use of AI is not the problem. It's not artificial intelligence that's at issue, but dare we say, a lack of intelligence from the creators of this app. We try to be charitable. Anybody can make a mistake, but 12345 as an admin password? Who's the security administrator on this system? The clown? McDonald's uses an AI chatbot called Olivia to screen job applicants through its McHire platform. And that platform was built by AI firm Paradox.ai. Olivia handles everything from collecting contact information to directing personality tests. But until last week, the system had a problem. Virtually anybody could hack into it. Security researchers Ian Carroll and Sam Curry discovered they could access the back end of McDonald's hiring platform using tricks as simple as guessing the administrator passwords. We'd love to say that Sam and Ian had some great technical ability or practiced some sophisticated social engineering or that they were the hamburglers of security, but the truth is the passwords were insanely easy to guess. The worst example, reportedly, an admin account was secured with the password 123456, a combination so weak that it ranks among the world's most commonly used stupid passwords. The breach exposed what appears to be 64 million records containing applicants' names, email addresses, and phone numbers from years of McDonald's job applications. Carroll said he stumbled onto this goldmine of personal data within just 30 minutes of starting his investigation. Carroll explained, "I just thought it was pretty uniquely dystopian compared to a normal hiring process, so I started applying for a job, and then after 30 minutes, we had full access to virtually every application that's ever been made to McDonald's going back years." Now, the vulnerability highlights a growing concern as companies rush to deploy AI systems without proper security oversight. Paradox.ai has since acknowledged the breach and claims the weak password account was not accessed by any third party other than the researchers who discovered it. McDonald's tried to quickly distance themselves from responsibility, calling the vulnerability unacceptable and blaming their third-party vendor. The company said the issue was resolved the same day it was reported. For job seekers, this incident serves as a stark reminder that even routine activities like applying for work can expose personal information if companies prioritize innovation over security fundamentals. And for companies, it's a warning that just because a company seems to know a lot about AI or has a URL that ends in .ai, don't assume that they have what it takes to properly implement and secure a system. And McDonald's might have been able to hold the vendor responsible, but as all security professionals know, you cannot delegate accountability. And that's our show. Stay tuned this weekend for a month in review and some in-depth discussions about some of the big security issues and stories from this month. Catch it on Saturday morning or whenever you listen to long-form podcasts. I'm your host, Jim Love. Thanks for listening.